Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? I hope we are all good. Welcome to I am really fucking far behind on this and I need to catch up. Yeah, it's not good. You can see how far behind I am. Hello everyone. Hello Drifter Rebirth. Hello Dino. Good to see you guys. Oh god, it is boiling hot today. Actually, I need to put my fan back on. I'm gonna put my fan on. If it gets too loud and it annoys you, let me know. But I am really hot. We've literally gone from like really fucking heavy rain to boiling hot sun, and it's like, thanks British weather. Anyway, so the plan today. We are going to be making some fusion sprites. We can do as many as we can. Basically, this is Mergemay. What Mergemay is it's a yearly event done for the Pokemon Infinite Fusion fan game for spriters, where you get prompts for each day of the year, or month, I mean. You get prompts for each day of the month, and you make a sprite based on that prompt. There's no particular deadline for it, but obviously you kind of want to get it done during May. And I'm really far behind. Like, I was caught up and now I'm really far behind. So we need to try catch up. You can see the ones I've done already. So basically this year, usually you only get one chart. This year there's two. And you could choose between one or the other, but I decided to do both for fun. So these are ones I've already done for this chart. For Burn, Underground, Sunshine, Claws, Order, Drought, and Hooded. So I've done 1 week here. So that's what I've already done there. And down here, we've got the other week down here, we've got Splash, Deep Sea, Rainstorm, Teeth, Chaos, Flood, and Striped done down here. So we're going to move on to Rock Slide and what is the other one? Rock Slide and Tsunami, which are two I already have ideas for and what I'm going to do for them. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. Hello Dibraz, welcome in, good to see you. So if you've watched my Pokemon Fusion videos in the past, then you know how this works. Basically you grab a base, I'm gonna minimize that. Basically you grab a base and you use that base to make the sprite out of. You are allowed to use custom bases made by other people, that's perfectly fine. And yeah, so the first one we're going to do, and I actually have this here, as or at least I did, and now it's gone. Hello, there it is. So here's the Fusion Dex website. I'm just going to show you. I already have some plans. So for Rockside, we're doing this fusion, Lunatone and Tyranitar, and for Tsunami, we're going to do Gyarados and Swalot, because I have an idea for both of these. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So move that, let that come back, there we go. Okay, so we need to grab our things. So I have we will do the Rock Slide one first actually. What's the similarities between Clank and Diddycon? I guess both of their names became slurs. Well, actually Diddycon isn't a slur, it just became the name of someone stupid who we do not like. I need to find my thing. So Clanker is more a jokes term, to be fair. It's not a proper slur, it's just more jokey, more anything else. Where did I say? Also, if the fucking fan gets too much for you guys, let me know. I'll point it away from my microphone, but it's still on me. There we go. I'm trying to find. Obviously, I'm not showing you guys my folders because I'm not doxing myself. Where did I save it? And on Lunatone, yes, Lunatone is L, which is down here. L, Lunatone, there we go. So we already have a base for Tyranitar here, which we will be using. Again, if you've seen my videos, you know how this works. And now I need to grab a Lunatone itself. We can just grab the Game Freak sprite for that. There we go, because we mostly just need it for colours. Now I'm going to save this in the right place. Oh, I should have done this before setting up a Art, Pokemon. Find Lunatone, Tyranitar. There it is, save. Right, so now we can get going. So we just grab the base and we go from there. God, Tyranitar is big. You don't realise how big Tyranitar is. So this first prompt is Rock Slide. We are fusing Tyranitar and Lunatone. Before any of you yell at me for tracing, this is literally what we're allowed to do. This is the point of these bases, and my idea is to have the sort of curve of Lunatone come around on it. Sort of like that. We want to stagger our pixels so it looks a bit better. Make the curve look a bit nicer. Curve of Lunatone coming around, almost like it's a helmet. Oh, Tyranitar is definitely based on Godzilla. I would be shocked if that it wasn't like inspired by Godzilla. It is definitely meant to be like Godzilla. And if it isn't, then I'm shocked. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it like black around the eye because that's what Lunatone has. Make it like that. So yeah, so it sort of curls around like the Lunatone head. Because if you've watched my previous videos on this, you know how it works. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to try and make it so it's like... okay, I'm struggling to get the bottom bit to work properly. Let's worry about the jaw. That's a tooth there. Have it sort of like that. Yeah, so it sort of curls around and outlines the shape of Tyranitar's head. Obviously we have the little craters that Lunatone has. I've noticed is how similar Cracking Time's music is to Dawn of the Dragon, which makes sense. They have very similar vibes to them. But just listening to this now has made me realise how similar their music is actually. Just make that one more like that. And what we'll do is we'll merge the spikes in with this. So you've got the spikes still coming out. Like that, merged in with the rocky helmet. I'll make that a bit sharper, I think. I know it's not that sharp on Lunatone, but I think it's going to look better if it's sharp. Just like that. The other spike comes up there. What I'm going to do actually is move that so it's more there. In terms of how I'm going to blend it into the body is a good point. Try to continue some. I'm going to round it out a bit more. Give it a bit more of a rounded back. I think that's going to work. Keep that sort of round shape of Lunatone in there. Even this out a little bit. There we go. Keep the craters going. Yeah, I think you're going to be able to see them both in this. Oh, I just knocked my fan. Whoops. You daisy, did not want to do that. Oh. And I need to keep hydrating because it is fucking hot today. And I don't feel like getting a headache because I'm not drunk enough. So we're going to keep hydrating. So if that's like that, I need to move these spikes up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go over them and then we'll move them. Again, this is perfectly valid. You're allowed to do this with the bases. It's what they're here for. So this is not bad tracing. This is allowed tracing. This is literally how they say to make your spikes for this game. Hell, I even go further by drawing it over a bit by hand. A lot of people just kind of photo bash their sprites, which is perfectly fine, but you know, I prefer to do it by hand. I think doing it by hand just has a nicer feel. I'm gonna move this one down. What some Pokemon you think are based on kaiju? Tyranitar, definitely. There's a few more. Tyranitar and what's its name? Baxcalibur? One of the newer ones, the pseudo-legendary from Gen 9. It's like Godzilla crossed with a Spino is Baxcalibur. It's a weird one. I don't really like it much, but that one definitely feels quite kaiju-like. I'm trying to think of any others right now. Usually I know a decent amount of Pokemon and I'm blanking. Kaiju Pokemon. I mean, Groudon is probably quite an obvious choice there, actually. I'd say Groudon is quite kaiju-like. I need to make this in a way that it's not. That's good. That's good like that. This actually needs to be cut off. There we go. Yeah, I'd say Groudon. Oh god, I'm blanking on Pokemon, man. What other Pokemon are there that are kaiju-like? I mean, most of the big pseudo-legendaries will be like that. Hydreigon, yes, Hydreigon. I love Hydreigon. He's so cool. Hydreigon is a cool Pokemon. There we go, a bit more rounded out, which is going to be better for the Lunatone shape. I'm almost tempted to bring it so that it comes around and it does that, rather than going out like that, you know? I'm almost tempted to do that. But I'm not entirely sure. Because then you might lose it Tyranitar, because like just bring it down so it comes around as like a round body shape. Like that. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll keep going for now. What else can I do to... I mean, Lunatone is one of those ones that's hard to add much to it other than just colouring. It's going to have to be mostly normal Tyranitar for most the rest of it, I think. Because, like, what else can I do with it? So for the rest of it, it's going to be mostly normal Tyranitar. Obviously, just with the Lunatone colouring and texturing. Figure it out as I go at this point. I'm going to try to do as many as I can today because I'm very behind. I mean, like I said, there's no particular like deadline for this event, but it's still like, I don't want to take ages on them, you know. I don't want to, because they do like a collage at the end. They put everyone's sprites together in a collage, and if you, even though it's technically not a deadline for the event, I'd like my sprites to be in that collage, so I technically have a deadline when it comes to that. And I am slightly editing the base here. I'm doing it how I want to do it. There we go. What I want to do though is, rather than bring it up like this, to bring that curl a little bit closer, a little bit tighter. No, it needs to be more of a curl like that than that. It needs to be more of a like... Or was it good how it was? Maybe it was good how it was. Maybe more like that, actually. So that can be hard to get things like curves right. More so in just trying to get them to look like they're not jagged and horrible. But I've learned a lot when it comes to spriting nowadays. I used to find it really hard. Now I sort of know how it works a lot better. Like, I know how to do pixel art much better than I did ever since doing sprites for this game. Cheese. It's basically making cheese. That's what we're doing. We're making cheese. Cheese Tyranitar, if you want to call it that. The moon is made of cheese. It is cheese Tyranitar. I don't even like cheese. Just putting that out there. Only cheese I like is mozzarella, because it doesn't even really taste like much. I do not like strong cheese. Right, let's get these holes in, because I can fill these in black anyway. This needs to come down like that. That arm, I'm gonna move it a bit. Otherwise we'll get a nasty tangent there. And we don't want nasty tangents. Nasty tangents can not exist. Indeed, it is Tyranitar. Hello Max, welcome in. I'll just fit in. I did think, is that Max? And then, yeah, okay, hello Max. You're on the wrong account, bud. I was like, is that Max or is that a different Max? No, it is Max. Hello Max, welcome in. We are spriting for Pokemon Infinite Fusion. And before you're like, oh my god, she's tracing, we're allowed to do this. People make bases for the game for you to use. This is perfectly allowed. I'm good, I'm good. I'm very behind. Basically, we're doing this. You can see the sprites I've already made for it, for this event. I should post all the sprites I've made in Bun's server. I haven't done that yet. That's like art I haven't posted yet. Minimize that now. Anyways, we have just done the line art. We are going to colour him in now, so we get the line colour. Do that. Grab the base colour, which is this mid-tone. Okay, get all the little bits. Looks like it's good. And then that little bit in there. There we go. And now we colour him in. So, Lunatone is one of those ones that has a... Oh, I didn't change anything there. Lunatone is one of those ones that has a very limited colour palette, but I think I know how I'm going to do this. Yeah, so this one is for... No, let me just fucking... This one is for Rock Slide. And I've chosen these two because Tyranitar... Both Tyranitar can learn Rock Slide, and Lunatone can also learn Rock Slide, so it works. Two Pokemon that can learn the move Rock Slide is what I've gone for here. What this part of this is going to be. I'm just going to leave it as people aside, I think. But what I might do, actually. A little bit more like that. This is going to be one of those hard ones. I think a pupil aside is probably going to work better. What do you do if Flo had party hats like what Ban Ban has? I mean, I think it'd be pretty cute. I do hate Ban Ban, but I think that'd be pretty fucking cute if she had party hats on. Imagine a cat with party hats on both of its ears. That'd be so fucking cute. That'd be extremely cute. Yeah, we gotta sort of figure out. That's a tooth. That's a tooth. And there's a tooth there, which I'm not gonna be able to see, but it's there. And make this black because I'm mimicking like this line there that Lunatone has. Oh, Tyranitar, what little a bit of dark grey there. There we go. Okay, we're gonna add in a little bit of shading around here, mimicking Tyranitar shading mostly, but also doing a little bit of my own based on what I've added in. I'm gonna add. Yeah, I'm gonna like. Add a bit. I'm just trying to think of the anti-aliasing. What I'm thinking about right now. I think I need to go black here. Outline that. Some layering. Bit more shading. Tyranitar is very light coloured along the top of his head, so we're going to mimic that. I'm going to make it a little bit jagged to keep the rock texture going. I'm going to go darker within the craters. Grab that colour. I have an OC who wears party hats like Ban Ban has. He can also turn into a devil. He's a 14-year-old boy, and despite party hats, he's actually a little shit. I mean, most 14-year-old boys are little shits. Let's face it. Oh, you do have a dark grey, Mr. Lunatone. I did not realise that. Allow me to utilise that. That would be helpful. Actually, that'd be a helpful thing to have. Is that dark grey? Just do a tad bit of anti-aliasing in places. I think Lunatone needs like a darker colour. But Lunatone does not have a darker colour like that. That sucks. Hello Samuel, welcome in. I'm glad to hear YouTube is finally doing its job and giving you notifications. That's nice of it. Thanks YouTube for finally doing your bloody job. Welcome in, good to see you Samuel. Sometimes we are allowed to make new tones if we need to. Like, that's not against the rules. That is a thing we are allowed to do if we feel we need to. hardest part of this is going to be shading it. I do want it to have that rocky texture, so I'm going to do a little bit of dithering to show uneven texturing. Because that is going to definitely sell the fact that it's a bit uneven. We want to get that colour again. I feel like I need a darker brown colour, but Lunatone doesn't have that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a darker one. Not quite that dark. Yeah, something like that. I feel like that's needed. Just to give it a bit more depth and dimension. This is a hard one to shade. I've never done a Lunatone fusion before. This is all new to me. Well, I say that. I have technically done Lunatone fusion, but it was a joke fusion that made Sun and Moon from FNAF. So it wasn't actually Lunatone, it was just joke. So I don't actually... I've never actually done a full Lunatone fusion before that's actually Lunatone, you know? This isn't the easiest thing in the world. I think I need to change the shape of that a little bit. I'm not sure. Let me just try something. Like bring it out. So it's like that. So it actually looks like it's part of the jaw more so. Like it's actually coming from a 3D jaw. If that makes sense. Yeah, that might actually work a bit better. So it's actually like you could tell it's going around the jaw rather than it being a flat thin, if that makes sense. I fear that's kind of what it looked like. It looked a bit flat. I'm gonna actually expand that more that way. That was my concern, that it looked a tad bit on the flat side, which we do not want. But now it actually properly wraps around the jaw. Just like that. The hardest part of all of this is making it believable. This is not an easy fusion. I thought this would be fairly easy, but it's not. Let's do that little red bit, because I know this bit here is I'm gonna make that red. So let's just add that in. Now this section's gonna be red. Like I thought, oh, this is a nice easy one, you know, it's a Pokemon that doesn't have much to it, neither of them have particularly much to them. Nah, it's gonna be difficult. What's gonna be difficult? What do I want it to be? You know what? I need a darker red. I think that's another problem. Should help there, because that gives that an outline. Which allows me to do this. And lets me have that as a shade colour. Oh, actually, rather than doing that, I need that light colour, actually. Right? I don't know if that looks very good, actually. No, it's going to look better with the dark colour. It's going to look better with the dark outline, actually. So we will do that. Dark red. Extra shade for a bit of an outline. There we go. Dark there. So that's all in darkness. Make sure we're on preserve opacity. To about there. And then there. Up. I'm actually going to make that dark red not quite as dark as I've just made it. A little bit lighter than that. Oh, my throat. Ugh. Okay, throat. You start breaking. That's cool. Voice is deciding not to currently. Thank you, voice, for deciding you don't want to function. I appreciate that. Except I don't really appreciate that. Okay. There we go, there's the middle bit done. There it has some black outline into it. That's black, that's black, that's black. All of this is black. Pretty much all of it. I'm just going to outline it in black. It's going to look best outlined in black. Do some more body shading, so obviously we need a shadow where the head is casting shadow onto the chest, just like that. And a bit of shadow here where that horn is casting some shadow. Hello Hamza, welcome in. It is indeed Moonzilla. That's it, that's a pretty accurate description. Moonzilla, not far off. Not far off at all with that description. I'm going to outline these sides of them and then use a little bit of black outlining on them as well. Oh, I need to adjust. Also, a reminder, if you can hear my fan, let me know. I will turn it off. It's just really hot. I needed the fan on. What else is there in terms of body shading? It sort of comes out like that. Yeah, I've got the fan sort of pointed as far, like pointed so that it's still hitting me and I can feel it, but it's not hitting the microphone, hopefully. I'm hoping that's the case. It's all dark. Yeah, it's 22 degrees here at the moment, Hamza. That being Celsius, and it's like, can't be allowed to not die from the heat. Do you know that one episode called Beauty and the Beach where Misty participates in the... I don't know that episode, no. In fairness, I've never watched any of the anime of Pokemon because personally I'm not that into anime at all, really. I'm just not interested in it. I've tried to watch it and I could never get into it. Personally, I don't particularly like the art style. I mean, it can be pretty sometimes, but like, it's just not for me. Not my sort of cup of tea. And I am British, so I'm particularly picky about my tea. Hello, Frankie-san. Welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome to I Am Dying because it's too hot. Way too hot right now. Damn, 26. Yeah, apparently we're meant to get up to like 28 by the end of the week and I'm dreading it. Absolutely dreading it. Not gonna be fun, but you know, meh, is what it is. The thing is though, we've gone, I mean, what people don't realise about the UK, I know Hamzy on the UK as well, what a lot of people don't realise about it is that we are quite humid. And I don't know if it's the same for you, Hamza, but here, we've had a lot of rain recently, like we had a week of torrential downpour rain here. And I'm in the south, by the way, of England. And then it's decided to go really hot and sunny, and now all of that rain and those puddles from the torrential downpours have evaporated, and now it's really fucking humid on top of being hot. And it's like, this is the worst kind of heat. Humid heat sucks ass. No one fucking likes human heat. No one... human heat? I just called it human heat. No one likes humid heat. Humid heat can fuck off. Humid heat cannot exist. Human heat is just the worst. Yeah, I just said it again. Human heat. Humid heat is the worst. Human heat. Fuck's sake, brain. See, the heat is melting my brain. There's your proof. Heat is melting my brain right now. Oh, I just minimised everything. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. I need to bring everything back up. Hang on. I just minimised everything on myself then. There we go. Do you agree the Pokemon has a weird obsession with inappropriatizing girls? A little bit? A tad? Not much. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Samuel. That's the problem, is that our houses are built to insulate because our winters used to be really cold. That's not even really the case anymore. Now we get actually really hot summers, and it's like, ugh, dying. This is not easy. This is not an easy fusion. Oh guys, since we're on the topic of Pokemon, what's your favourite Pokemon? Mine is Sceptile. It's my all-time favourite Pokemon. Tell me which your favourite Pokemon is, because I'm curious, and if I can find a way to fit it into one of the prompts I could fuse, I could make a spike for it. Then again, not all Pokemon are in the game, so I can't. There's not every Pokemon. Gen 8 and onwards aren't in the game, and then not everything from Gen 7 back is in the game. But yeah, Sceptile's always been my favourite. I do like Sceptile. Final Pokemon shows are kind of weak in retrospect. Yeah, I feel like I need to try and watch the movie at some point. But I never really get on with anime personally. Also, hello Viri, welcome in. Good to see you. I don't know why I don't like anime. I just never got on with it. Maybe that's my skill issue. We got two evolutions, okay. Jolteon and Flareon. If I had to do my top Pokemon, it'd be Sceptile at the top, Inteleon and Typhlosion. Who else do I really like? Corviknight. Corviknight's really cool. I really like Corviknight. Kyogre is one of my favourites, and Lugia when it comes to legendaries. Who else? Who else would be a good choice? Volcarona, that's a good one. Volcarona. Haunter, that's a good one. Haunter. Nice to see a difference from Gengar from that line. One of the things I want to try do is, well, first of all, I want to do the Pokédex challenge because I collect Pokemon cards. I haven't bought any for a while because I am broke, but I collect Pokemon cards when I can afford it. And I want to do, not only am I doing the Pokédex challenge, so every single one card for every single Pokemon plus regional forms, but I also want to do every single Sceptile card in existence, which is hard because there are some very, very rare, very valuable Sceptile cards, so that's going to be difficult to do. But it'll be a fun challenge. Also, guys, the discount on my store is expiring soon in about a week, so if you want to get 20% off, now is your time to do it. You've got until the 31st of this month to get your 20% off with the code. So if you want to buy from my store, now is the time, because you can get the 20% off from now up until May 31st. Just a little promo there. Gotta do a little promo every now and then. Dragapult, I love Dragapult as well. Dragapult's really good. Noivern is cool. I like a bit of Noivern. I really like Hydreigon. I have a soft spot for Pidgeot. I don't know why, I just have a soft spot for Pidgeot as well. You know, Pidgeot's cute. Who else? Who else? Trying to think who else is good. I've never been that into the bug types, honestly. Bug type and fighting types are the ones I probably... Bug type, fighting type, and fairy types are the ones I'm least interested in, usually. Personally. Come on, give me that, thank you. There we go, there we go. We go, there. Same, the starters always end up being my favourites as well because I just get so attached to them. The story of me deciding to love Sceptile was because, I mean, when my first ever Pokemon game was Soul Silver, which is where I picked up my love for Typhlosion. And then my second ever Pokemon game was Alpha Sapphire. And with Alpha Sapphire, I thought, oh, I don't like any of these starters because I always choose my starter based on what the final evolution is. And I was looking at the starters and I was thinking, I don't like any of them, they're all so ugly, you know? So I thought, oh, I'll just choose Trico because Gecko and I like reptiles, so I just went Trico. And then he evolved into Sceptile, and then I ended up just really falling in love with Sceptile, so now Sceptile's my favourite. I originally thought he was ugly, and now I think he's really cool. I love Sceptile. So I think that Flo looks like the cat from Flo. Yeah, I mean, Flo looks like any black cat, so she's just a black cat. She'll look like anything in that respect. Also, I didn't do the parts that come here. Are they on show at all? A little bit. Like there and there. Yeah, I've got the little... some of the whole things there. Trying to think of any other Pokemon I really like. Hydrapple. Forgot to mention Hydrapple. I really like Hydrapple. I feel like Hydrapple's underrated. Hydrapple is cool. I mean, as long as it's not a weird video, then I don't really care, Dino. But if it's a video that's going to show any harm to my cat, then I'd rather not have that be made. Do not want any harm being depicted with my cat, thanks. Especially since she is really my therapy animal. You know, I don't know if I'd be functioning if I did not have her. Because she is very cuddly and very clingy to me. And she's lovely and I love her. Some more shading along there. Oh yeah, deadlock music. It can be really hard to shade these sometimes. Speaking of a cat, I think there's a cat that wants to get in the room. Hang on a second, I can hear her scratching at the door. Summon Flo. She is now here and in the room. Hello Julia, welcome in. I've got to say hello to you. There is indeed a Flo in the room. We like us a good bit of Flo. King Kong, definitely. Have you seen the size of King Kong compared to Diddy Kong? I don't think that's even really much of a question. There is a Flomo in the room. She has gone to her spots on the windowsill. Her favourite spot. My little cutie pie. You know, I don't think that needs to be outlined in all black like that, like the base has done it. I'm gonna change that to be like more like this. There we go. If you mean the secret of the Mimic VR port, yes, I did hear about that, and I am going to try it at some point for fun, because I think it'd be fucking fun to try. With how stupidly broken it is. Why have I got her? Need to bring this back. There we go. We are getting there slowly on this one. I use the bases, but I also like to put my own flair on them, you know. Don't like to just 100% copy the bases. No, I don't know which one that is, Dino. I mean, is it a fan game? Because there's been no new FNAF game, so I assume you mean a fan game. Because there's been no new official FNAF games other than the Secret of the Mimic VR port. Which is incredibly broken, hilariously so. Yeah, no, I don't follow fan games, so I wouldn't know, Dino. I haven't followed FNAF much, honestly, recently. Not that I don't, I still like it, I just haven't followed it much. There's not been much going on with it. Imagine Dragons, Riorix, I don't know how to say her name, sorry. Just bear in mind that Artwork Out has paywalls, so you're not going to have it for free much longer. Thank you, Riorix, I appreciate that. A little bit more shading in this color. Just really go just like that. We have some of the light color needs to go here. Kitty Cat's watching. Hello, Kitty Cat. Hello, Imagine if Piskies hit Kitty Cat. Hello, kitty. I love kitties. My kitty is in the room, but she's on the windowsill. She's like, I've gone to my spot. I'm gonna stay on my spot. And the windowsill is our absolute favourite place in this room because the curtains are broken. And one of them can't move, so it just stays in the middle of the windows, and they're big bay windows. And she just loves, like, being behind that curtain and just sitting on the window and looking out on the world. That's her spot. Ice Age Marathon. You know, I want to do an Ice Age Marathon at some point. I've not watched those films in a long time. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, Max. See you later. Have fun with your Ice Age Marathon. Flo's currently just chilling. Flo's just existing in the room currently. She wants nothing to do with anyone right now. Probably because it's hot, and she gets really hot, bless her, because obviously she's black with black fur. She just absorbs all the heat. But she gets a little bit grumpy when it's hot, and I don't blame her, because so do I. No one likes it when it's hot. Cats do like heat, yeah, but we have a conservatory that she sits in. Like, the conservatory is one of her favourite places as well, and it gets really hot in there. Like, when the sun goes right on the conservatory, it gets up to like 40 degrees in there. So she doesn't like it when it gets too hot. Yeah, she's just going with the flow. Her full name is Florence, but we shorten it to Flo. We have Flo and Shelby. Shelby being my parents' cat. And he's still young, he's not even a year old yet, and he's a little menace. But we love him. He's just a menace. He knows how to cause chaos, does that cat. Or should I say kitten, because he is still a kitten. What else? Flo's full name is spelled like that, Florence. It was actually after Florence and the Machine, if you know that band, because we all really like Florence and the Machine. They're a good band. So her name was inspired by that. Florence and the Machine is a really good band. You should listen to their songs if you haven't before. Bring that down to some lights in there. Grab that. So getting to a point of winning it a little bit. Okay. Needs a little bit more shades down here. Did they make Breath of Life? I don't know. They did Dog Days, Cosmic Love, Ship to Wreck, Shake It Off. Those are the songs I know of them. They're on my playlist. Dog Days is known for having been in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 at the end, when they're all dancing. Really good song, I love that song. Cosmic Love's probably my favourite song of theirs, though. I fucking love that song, it's so beautiful. I think we can call that pretty much done. Yeah. I could change things later if I need to. I think that's probably good enough for now, so let's save that one. And then I need to go to the thingy, pixel art scaler. I'm going to turn to Tyranitar. New canvas 288. There we go. Come on. There we go, download. And there's that one done. Next up is Tsunami. We should get this and label it, which is 544248. There we go. So next up we have Tsunami, which is going to be Gyarados and Swalot. So let me close these now. There we go. Why is Steam open? Go away, Steam. New 96 by 96. So I have an idea for this one. With it being Tsunami, basically I was going to have it so that Swalot's mouth is wide open and water is coming out of it, like a wave of water, like a tsunami. That was my idea. Where is it saved? I need GY, 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 GY. Gyarados Swalot. There we go. Okay, now find it again. Gyarados Swalot. Get the Swalot base I was going to use. There we go. We need the mouth wide open. Funny enough, I've already done a Gyarados fusion for this, but it's fine. You can use the same Pokemon more than once. That's not a problem. But I've never done a Swalot fusion before, so this is going to be interesting in that respect. Where is Gyarados? There we go, 130. Okay. Then we bring Swalot over here. There we go. Do you think Flo is strong? I mean, all cats are kind of strong, yeah. I know it's like Gyarados. What is it? Gyarados? Not Gyarados. Not that. I still call it Gyarados. I can't help it. I know it's like Gyarados? I don't know. Gyarados? Is that... Wait, I need to look up the name now. But it has a Y. It's like GY. It's got a Gyarados? Gyarados? I just call it Gyarados, okay? That's what I've always thought it was since I was a kid, so I'm fucking calling it Gyarados. I don't care. It's one of those Pokemon. It's like, what the fuck are you called? Right, so my plan... How many goody beard Bam Bam kids got up on your chimney? We don't have a chimney. So my plan was to basically have it so we have the lips of Gyarados around the mouth. Yeah, hang on, let me turn this back on. And go to Gyarados, look. There you go. Gyarados! It's got a Y! I'm not going mental, I promise. I've always called it, I've always called it Gyarados as a kid because I always missed out that A. So I guess like Gyarados. Gyarados? I don't know. I have no idea what it actually is meant to be, but there you go, it has a Y in it. It's one of those ones that no one actually fucking knows how it's pronounced, we all just win it. Gyarados, whatever lip is going around. Now we've fluffed it out to be lip. I'm gonna have to really mess with the proportions here to get this to work. It's going to be a fun one to try and see if I can execute my idea, but it's going to be difficult. I need to go down here. There we go. Let's get my pixel art tools. There we go, Gyarados lips. Gotta love lips. I don't know why I even bother drawing the bottom when most of it's going to be fucking tsunami, so I need to draw in where the waves are going to come in. So my plan was to have like wave coming out of his, like a wave of water coming out of his mouth. Let's see. Can make it. How do waves go? Something like that, I guess. Let's see the general shape of it in right now. I don't need to properly worry about it. Yeah, like a wave of water coming out. Gyarados? Gyarados. Gyarados? I don't know. Who fucking knows? It's one of the ones we all pretend we know and we actually don't know it. You know, I think I need the like, need to be lower. No, I need wave. How does one make a fucking wave in pixel art? Let me just fucking real quick. Just need to look at the shape because I'm blanking on what a fucking wave looks like apparently. Yeah, it needs to like come up and curl round, doesn't it? Yeah, I need to bring it up and curl it round. Like, the wave is coming up. It's being a tsunami. That's the froth there of it coming up. That'll probably do as a general shape. And the answer is right if you're brave enough, yeah. Right, now I've got the general shape of the wave, then I can see what's going to be covered up and what isn't. Oh god, I can't do that because it doesn't let you do that because it gets mad at me. That's where it gets difficult, so I've got to try fitting Gyarados features now to Swalot. This is where it's going to become a bit difficult. Should we have the teeth in there? That's going to be fairly important. The Gyarados. Hell yeah, Carver Island. Hell yeah, Carver Island. Best music. Get this like spike horns it has in. Kind of gonna be hard to properly freehand it. I love this music. Because I love how it's like, it's dramatic, but it has this heroic bit in it, and it's like, oh, it sounds so good. It's like perfect for the battlefield you're in. Absolutely perfect for the battlefield. To get the feel of Gyarados in there while I do this. So this is a hard one to do. do know that what year was a rumour the Boo-Boos are going to be in? If they put the Boo-Boos in Toy Story 5, then that's fucking stupid. One. Again, one that I thought wouldn't be too bad to do, but it has proven me wrong. Very wrong. Put them in Ban Ban, because I don't give a shit about Ban Ban, so I don't have to see them. They're in Ban Ban, then I don't have to see them because I don't give a shit about Ban Ban. Microsoft Teams, did I ask for you? I don't believe I did. Therefore, you can go away. I need to bring it back up because that's what happens every time I lose something. There we go. What would you do if I tried to bring a bunch of kids' attention to my distance Ban Ban? I don't know what I'd do because I wouldn't be there. Not much I can do if I'm not there. So we need to make sure it has Swallow recognizability, so we got a stupid little Swallow hand. Let's put the other ear fin in. This needs to go further in. Yeah, more like that. That looks better. You made a Simpsons video called Homer? That sounds like just Christmas Homer, I don't know. Go for it. I do like The Simpsons. Simpsons is good. I need to binge watch it again. Or like the 10th time. I'm not, I've already just said it. Oh my god, this is difficult. Now let's do. Like that, honestly. Okay, I'm still not happy with that. I'm going to do that differently again. Wave sort of over here. Maybe more like that actually. Oh, I did it on the wrong layer, that's so annoying. New layer, there we go. I just try and... There we go. I can technically do that. Go. Get it to be even. Where are my pixel tools? There they are. Other little hand in there. Go. Get the general shape of Swallow in there. Like that. What I'll do is I'll like fluff it here, like this. I'll do that in a bit. I've got the general shape in there at least. Okay, so from here, I can give this Gyarados colours. Make sure the bit is how it should be. Do this. Gyarados is a little tricky with how its mouth is. Gyarados is a little tricky. Give it the lips. The lip colour. Or as in the lip fucking outline colour. Just like this. This is a dark blue. Actually, it's more that blue. It's more just a shading colour, really. Interesting how they decide to do this. Gyarados sort of white for these, which can go on the same layer as that, same colour. White in the eye. The Gyarados eye, there we go. I'm gonna keep calling it Gyarados, I don't care. It's gonna be Gyarados now. That's his name. And I say his because I usually get a male Gyarados in when I have him in my game. Let's grab that colour and use that to create this. And one more. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. There, like that. Dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there. And then up like that, and then dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there, dark there. There we go. No, I feel like that's a little bit too harsh, so what I'm going to do instead is make a new shade there rather than using the outline shade. It's a little bit too harsh. There we go. Tad bit too harsh. Okay, let's continue doing all the shading. Like this. No, that's not the colour I wanted. I want that colour, thank you. Like that. Okay. The lips are an interesting one. They are a little bit weird. It's catch the light on the edge there. To come around like that. What I'm going to do actually is that. This is very difficult. I hate when it's like a big open mouth. I don't know why I did this to myself. Because clearly I'm not very good at it when it's like a big open mouth like this. And the Gyarados uses black in its mouth to do that. So I suppose if Gyarados does it, I can do it if Game Freak does it on their sprite. Which is a very difficult thing to do. I've got to focus on shading Gyarados before I even do any of the wave. I need to make sure this is shaded properly before I do any focusing on the wave, because the wave is SFX and I need to make sure I do that properly. And an easy way for me to make sure I do that properly is to shade everything first so I can focus on it later on. So that is my current plan. Shade, shade, shade. Okay. It's a bit difficult though, just to try and read everything in without it blending in together too much, especially when you've got a design, you're putting a more complex style in a simpler design. So you're trying to make sure it works but also doesn't blend in too much. It's a very fine balance. Because you want to incorporate both Pokemon, so you need to make sure like Gyarados can be seen, the Swallow can be seen. But it's very delicate work when it comes to trying to get both in. without making it too busy or messy. There will be more Bam Bam redesign videos, Thomas, don't you worry, that will happen eventually. There will indeed be more parts to that. Okay. No, not that colour, that colour. This swallow is very angy. He's an angy swallow. Okay. God, so it's there, 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 there. It's all in darkness. Boom, that, there. Okay, we have our main part done. We need to do the wave. So we already have like a nice frothy texture there. Oh, not texture, nice frothy colour there, froth for the, you know, froth of the wave. I can't use too many colours, you're not allowed to use too many colours. But I am going to have to make a water wavy colour here. So if I get the definition of any froth in. Idea that that's froth there, the wave, colour the rest of them with this blue. You can froth it up here as well, where it's coming in. Just where you're going to sort of roughly start doing it. How does this colour compare? No, this colour. How does this colour compare? Okay, we can add this in. Bit of a lighter colour. The last time I did water, I just let my strokes be nice and sort of random. And it sort of worked. And what we definitely need is a dark colour, so I can take the blue there and use that as a dark colour. Maybe not quite that dark. About this blue might be enough. Yep, use that as like a darker colour. Because there's going to be darker parts in the wave. Not easy to create a wave. I had trouble doing this last time I had to make one. I mean, last time I had to make one was over here. Yeah. They weren't really waves, they were just bits of water. So, it becomes a little bit difficult. I need to minimise this now. This is a wave rather than actual water, so... try and get that flow of the wave in there. And gradually build it up. So light blue's probably going to help in places. Towards the froth. See, I will be adding more to the froth when we get to it. So like we get to the froth and I can add What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put a darker, just so I can see what I'm doing. So I can see what I'm doing, because I need to add white to it. And I won't be able to see while I add white. So this will help in that respect. Off of the waves. Now I'm going to start going, remove the preserve opacity so I can start going a little bit outside of the shape I've done. Like this. Have the froth come out a bit in places. Be a bit messy because it's, you know, a big wave. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be one big solid shape. It's going to be trying to crash itself down a bit. I wouldn't say it's that detailed right now. I'm still trying to get it to work. A little bit difficult because you're trying to shade the water at the same time as getting the general shaping, where it gets a little bit difficult. I feel like I need an in-between shade. Like that shade. Go in between. No, I never bet how it was actually. Pixel art water is difficult, man. Pixel art water is really difficult. That will be happening in another video at some point. Mankiat Pro? That'll be happening at some point in another video. Yeah, you'll just have to be patient and wait for the video. Frothy up here, messy. There's water splashing. Not that easy. Just sort of win it and hope that it's going to work. As I said, Monkey Up Pro, that'll be happening in another video at some point. Can't tell you when, but it will happen. But we will not be doing it on this live stream. Graham, thank you for the $1.99 USD. I appreciate it. I have yet to watch it. I need to watch it. I just haven't yet. I haven't got around to it. I do want to watch it eventually at some point when I can. So I currently don't have an opinion on it, but except for the fact that I want to watch it. I just haven't got around to doing so yet. But thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. And yeah, I will eventually be watching it whenever I get around to watching it. Hopefully soonish. I've been really busy, so I struggle to watch, to like sit down and watch something. You have to be doing something in the background. I've just been really busy lately. So hopefully at some point soon I will find the time to sit down and watch it. We'll have to hope in that respect. But thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Much appreciated. Do like dots of the froth going along here. Sort of like that. I think I'm getting there with it. Sort of. The hard, messy thing to do are waves in pixel art. I think. Just coming down the bottom, really. Like that. And going up into the light of frost. Maybe it was okay how it was actually. Really hard to do. I'm really struggling with this wave right now. Can't say I've really done a pixel art wave before. I mean, it's a wave. Like, it kind of is. It's a wave. You know, it is a wave. It's the most I can probably say about it right now. I'll probably have to do for the time being. I think that's probably going to be good enough. What I'm going to do is grab the darker colour I had there and just use that to in some light into areas. It's a bit dark otherwise. And we need to use another colour here, just to bring a little bit more shading down here. Oh, I suddenly feel quite sick. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. I think that's this guy done. Best as I'm going to do it anyway. I think. I mean, I'm still not fully happy with that wave. It's a hard thing to do in pixel art, things like that, but we'll leave it for now. I think now that I've actually taken it off there, I can see a bit better where it's going a little bit wrong. Oh, I used to love Walking with Dinosaurs as a kid. I need to rewatch all that. That was the shit as a kid. Really good stuff as Walking with Dinosaurs when I was a kid. Right, so I'm just going to say this guy's done for now. So there we go. We need to pop it in the scaler. Oh, it's taken almost 2 hours for me to do 2 sprites. What the fuck? Okay. I need to find Gyarados. Got Gyarados. Swalot. Go. Just let it do its thing. So our next prompt, let me close the, hang on. Close these now. So our next prompts after Rockslide and Tsunami, Obsidian and Ice. Okay, Obsidian and Ice. What Pokemon would be good for those? I mean, Ice, obviously you got any Ice type Pokemon, any Ice type Pokemon would be good for Ice. Who else would be good? Who would be good for Obsidian? Who would I even do for Obsidian? That's a interesting one. Who do you guys think I should do for Obsidian? Let me pop this back up. There we go. We've done these and get rid of those. Who for Obsidian? I mean, Ice is going to be a pretty easy one. Obsidian. Let me just see what other people have done for Obsidian so I can get an idea. Obsidian. Just look on the Discord real quick. Bastiodon, Aerodactyl, Talonflame Numal. Yeah, Obsidian is quite a loose one. I mean, Obsidian is dark and lava, I guess, for Obsidian. If I did like dark and lava, maybe. Let's have a look around at Pokemon. I mean, obviously we also have Ice to look at. Umbreon is a dark type. Let me grab that. Houndoom is a dark type. Obsidian. You're a dark type. I don't know if I can do anything with you. Gliscor's not a dark type. That should be a dark type. Make Empoleon maybe? Gives me Obsidian vibes? I don't know, I'll grab it. It is Ice as well, it's possibly Ice. Aggron kind of Obsidian vibes. I want to save Kyogre. That's actually my sprite. Ah, yeah, that's my sprite being used as the main one. Cool. Kyogre and Groudon I want to save for later. Darkrai for Obsidian could possibly work. Welcome back, Ryorix. Hydreigon is dark type. I've already done a Hydreigon though. Dark type Obsidian. Lairon. Yamask could be holding some Obsidian possibly. Glalie made out of Obsidian maybe. Glalie's also for Ice. Necrozma. Necrozma Glalie is kind of standing out to me a little bit. Necrozma Glalie. Let me see if that's a thing or not already. It is already a thing. That's a sick fusion, actually. It's a good idea for a fusion. Okay, that's not going to work then. I'm going to look through Aggron sprites. There could be something here that could make Obsidian. I'm going to scroll down, actually. So we get less down here that are made. So obviously I always try to do the ones that don't actually have a custom sprite yet. I think it just... I don't like going over someone else's work, so... I have to do the ones that don't have a custom sprite yet. It just needs to fit Obsidian. This is a hard one, is this prompt. What could I do? What could I do? Obsidian. None are particularly standing out for me right now with Aggron. That kind of sucks. This is not an easy one. This is not an easy prompt. That's a PS5. This is a PS5, okay. Cool. Darkrai Aggron's already been done. Yeah, it's looking like Aggron isn't going to be one we can do, really. I can't see anything with it. Okay, no to Aggron. Darkrai has a lot of fusions already done. It's going to be hard pressed to find a fusion of Darkrai that's not done. Really would have to be Darkrai with a Steel type to make Obsidian, I guess. Also, that's sick, and that's sick as well. It would have to be Darkrai with the Steel type to really make Obsidian. But that's easier said than done. Yeah, we're getting into where they're all done now. Darkrai's a very popular one to sprite. They're mostly done. Yeah. Yeah, look, they're all pretty much done. I mean, there's some not done, but a lot of them are. Is Darkrai Glalie done? Let me have a look at that. Darkrai Glalie. I feel like it probably is done. I'm gonna get rid of that. I feel like it probably is done. Yeah, okay. Lairon, that's my other look for Obsidian. Let's look at Lairon. Again, oh, I just knocked the fan. Oops, again, go down to the bottom. Let them load in. Hello, thank you. Any good ones for Lairon that could be Obsidian? And maybe a dark type with it. What about Carbink? Carbink has just come to mind, actually, for me. Carbink has just come to mind. Is Necrozma Carbink done? Yes. But Carbink has just come to mind for me as potential for Obsidian. If I, like, make it with a dark type so that the gems are dark. The gems look like Obsidian, you know. That has just come to mind with me. What the fuck is going on with that? Jesus, that's an interesting auto-gen. Again, interesting auto-gen. For some reason it likes to put a... Okay. The auto-gens on Carbink are weird. Good to know. I don't know, I've just had the feeling Carbink could work if you put it with something dark. Annoyingly, that's already done. That's already done. A dark Pokemon with Carbink. Yamask. That's a possibility. Carbink and Yamask. I'm gonna save that one. Zeraora is dark, but I don't think it's gonna work. Anything else? Zekrom and Carbink? Maybe? Routine and Carbink's already done. Yeah, it looked like I might do Yamask. Oh, it's a Sceptile right there that I could do. Cool. Yeah, I might do Yamask Carbink, thinking about it. I think that might work. Make the main body like Obsidian. And then, Hounding Carbink. Nah, I think Yamask can. Yeah, Yamask Carbink I'm gonna do. Yubbink. It's called Yubbink. Okay, so we've got one for Obsidian. We now need one for, what was the other one? Obsidian and Ice. Well, Ice is nice and easy. We just find an Ice Pokemon. So let's find a good Ice Pokemon that I want to sprite. And then we can do Ice. Lapras is Ice. And then again, it's not very Ice though. I want more Ice. I mean, Articuno. Articuno is very Ice. Are there any cool Articunos that haven't been done? So I'll happily do a cool Articuno. If it would like to load. There we go. Let's see if there are any cool Articunos we can do. Articunos that are like ice, like it's going to look like ice, you know. It needs to be an Articuno that I can still do ice fights with it. Oh, look at that carving Articuno, that's cool. That kind of is giving me ideas. I just basically just look at the autogen, see if any of them give me ideas as to how I choose what I'm going to do. That Articuno everywhere is really funny. Regi's Articuno has already been done, I'm not surprised. Any icy fight. Ooh. Glady Articuno could be cool. Okay, Glady Articuno, that's it. We've got our two. Yama's Carbink and Glady Articuno. In the meantime, I'm gonna go pee because I need to pee. I will be back and then we'll do these two sprites. So give me a minute, I'll be back. Hello again. Okay. Now we have chosen. I need to choose bases for both of these, so let's have a look at the Carbink bases. What base do I want to do for Car? I actually quite like that one right there. Because that could do well for Yamask. Yeah, I'm going to do this one right here. We'll use this base, so we are doing Yamask plus Carbink. And that is by Sticky Animates. I had to name the file, the name of the person who made the base, so I remember. Sticky Animates, there we go. Let's get Photoshop open to change the size of that. I was totally forgot I was meant to be recording these. Whoops. I will fucking have to download the stream because I wasn't recording them. Well done me. As for Articuno, let's choose an Articuno base. It's gonna look. Ooh, actually, that one might look nice. Like this one here might look nice. What other nice ones are there for a good pose? Good pose, good pose. Thick glalie. I think I might have to be that one. But that one looks a bit big for Articuno. Next video is probably going to be a edited down version of the MS Paint randomizer that we did. I quite like this one as well. I think this one's got a cool pose going to it. But I might just use this Game Freak one here actually. I really like this pose, but I feel like it's too big, you know. People used it. It's been used, I think. Fuck it. It's there. I'm gonna use it. I like this one. Okay, and then we go... What is this? This is Glalie plus Articuno. And this base is by Nemesis. There we go. Now I just need to scale the bases. Give me a second. So we were doing Yamask, which will be down in the Ys, down here. Scale this down to 96 by 96. And then we are doing Glalie back up to G. These are there, Glalie Articuno. Image size 96 by 96. And in fact, I'm going to make you a tad bit smaller. Just so that you work a little bit better. It's messed up the pixel a little bit, but I can fix that. Oh look, I've been pinned. Why am I always pinned when I'm busy? This sucks. It sucks. Why am I always pinned when I'm busy? Right, swap back over to Sai. There we go. Make new canvas. Hello, Yellow. Welcome in. Good to see ya. 6 by 96. And this time, I'm going to remember to fucking press record. Because I was meant to be recording these, and I have not recorded a single one. That was stupid of me. Because I was going to make these into a video. Like just a marathon video of spriting. And I did not record them. That was dumb of me. I should have recorded them. So we are going to start with Yamask carving. Yamask carving. It's there. Open the carving base. We're not doing MS Paint again. We are doing Spriting for Infinite Fusion. And then I need to grab Yamask. Yamask is number... What number is Yamask? 411. Go down to 411. And there it is. Yamask. Yamask carving. Okay. Carving, bring you in. This is going to be a not so difficult one to do. I am going to record. Remember to fucking record this one. Okay. Brain, you need to record them because that's the point of you doing this, is that they're going to be fucking video. Right, so. You need to give carving the Yamask look. So I'm going to keep this sort of fluffy part it has. Give it the big sad eyes of Yamask. Actually, this is a kind of difficult angle to do. Well, first of all, we need it to have its little thing that Yamask has on the top of its head. I don't know what you would even call that. It's sort of like drip that Yamask has on the top of its head. little bit of a Yamask shaped head. I'll round this out more so it's a little bit on the Yamask side. Or do I turn these into Yamask arms? Like, what if I turn these into Yamask arms here? I might do that actually, so like have them come around. Have these be its arms. So I can tidy that up a bit. Make it work a bit better than that. So we still have the idea of Yamask hands and arms in there, which is a big key part of its design. Important thing to have. What happens if I just took Yamask's arms and just badonk? Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that instead. I didn't do it very well. And then I'm going to take that, flip it. Just sort of like that. It has its arms, which is a very key part of its design. And then the body of carving is going to stay mostly the same. Except I'm going to give it Yamask's little tail. Where it's holding the mask, which I'm just going to bring in. Around it. Have the mask about. There is probably good. Just gonna paint in the mask. Rift Apart has some good people shit on Rift Apart for having bad music. Rift Apart has some good music. Like, this is good. Gems. I've never actually sprited carving before, this is brand new to me. What happened here? That is how it goes. It's just a bit weird. Okay, well, thanks for that. This okay, carving's a weird one to sprite. Okay, no, I'm not giving it its tail. That looks bad. And honestly, I'm not giving it its hands either, that looks bad as well. Honestly, everything I've done Yamask-wise looks better than just fucking... I'm gonna change this. I'll just try and get the Yamask head in there a little bit more. Follow the actual Yamask sprite a bit better. Yamask is so confusing. Not Yamask, Carbink is so confusing. What is going on with Carbink? Sort of like that. Give it like a little. So it's still a little bit Yamask-ish. But giving it the mask wasn't working very well. It has a little tuft over here. Of like whatever. I want to make it feel a little bit more Yamask-ish. What I could do, actually, is have this bit. Shelby is Shelby, that's his name. Shelby is Shelby. That's not shortened. I'm gonna do like have this bit be like a ghostly aura instead, I think. I think that would help. This was more like a ghostly aura. I'm going to do it a bit like I've done another spike before. So I've done a Yamask spike before where I had like the gold sort of come out as like drips of liquid gold, and I think I'm going to do that here. Bits of liquid gold. I did it so long ago, let me have a look at it real quick. Yeah, like it was like flecks of gold. Blobs of molten gold. that. I can turn that into a full gem. Yeah, that'll do. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to do that and then make dark tone. There is a dark grey, not quite black. Means the yam mask is an easy one to colour. That's an advantage of it. Gems are all going to be gold. Gold, 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 gold everywhere. Okay. Pain. Red for the eye. Okay, so in terms of the body, I want it to look really like obsidian, so I'm going to make it dark, very dark. Most places to really try to get that feeling of obsidian in there with lots of contrast. Make a lighter colour shading. Maybe not quite that light, a little darker. I want it to really try and scream obsidian. More streaky shading rather than what Carbink usually has. That's my goal at least. And in some places we need to put in black so that I can then make it even darker. So I can use this colour, go even darker in places. To look like obsidian. Okay, I want it to look like obsidian, but I'm also very much winning it right now as I go. Cut this off and make that 2 lots. Let's shade the gold. Use colours from the mask. Do this in order to give highlights. Hello, Serena Core. Is it? Did I say that right? I'm sorry, that's a hard to say name for me. But hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Up areas like that. Okay, and then give it a little bit of light on the Yamask head itself, even though the original Yamask doesn't have that, but that doesn't really matter. What else? I need to do the gems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to that's for the gems. The gems are a little bit confusing in how they are shaded. Thank you, I appreciate it. Also, I just realised that it's black again. There we go. That's not meant to be like that. Whoops. My bad. Do. Yeah, he's probably done. He's probably good enough. Outline going down there, and then that's probably that. And I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna mute. Be glad I muted. That was a very loud sneeze, and I probably would hurt your ears. There we go. That's the Yamask carving done for Obsidian. That is JPEG, not PNG. There we go. Let's just do that scale real quick. Thank you. Go down there. 411, 478 is what it is. When it does its process. Doing it, there we go. And grab that. I'm obviously not letting you guys see all my folders because I do not want to dox myself. 411478 because they do have my full name on them. Okay, that's that. So we'll probably do one more for today, which will be the Articuno. No, Glalie Articuno. I can't quite. Come on, I need you to. No, I need you to drag down so I can stop the recording. I need you to drag down. Come on. Drag down. Oh my god, I can't. Close. There we go. Okay, next was Glalie Articuno. That was our next one. And then that'll be the last one we'll do for today. Is Glalie Articuno. Let's find the folder. There we go. Oh god. I went to the garden centre earlier and I just got fucking assaulted by pollen there. I was like trying not to sneeze in public places. I didn't like sneezing. I don't like sneezing in public places. I'd rather not sneeze in public places. Where the fuck is... Where... There we go, Glalie Articuno. God, I couldn't find it then. Hello Amy, yes I've had a good day, thank you, and welcome in. Now, I have scaled this one to be a bit smaller than it was. I thought it was a bit big. I'm still going to make it a little bit smaller. I still feel it's a bit big and I'll just go over it, how I thought it's going to work nicely. Because Articuno is like... I mean, I can grab the Game Freak sprite of Articuno. You're meant to make them look like how they are. So what's Glalie 428? Okay, 144428 is what we are looking for. I mean, there's 144. I can match the size of the Game Freak sprite. Yeah, that's probably alright. And then we need... Oh, what was it? 428. 428 for Glalie. 428, there we go. This will be the last sprite we do. And then we'll be done. Mully, okay, I'll call you Mully. Sorry about that. This will be the last fight we do. And go from there. So we're taking Articuno and we are turning it into Glalie. So this can be these sort of black horns of Glalie. I'm going to keep the beak, but I'm going to give it the sort of clenched teeth of Glalie. We want a dark ring around the eyes. No, into Glalie. Glalie is what he's called. Yeah, like that. I'm liking that. Cheek in. Okay, and then from there it's going to be figuring out how to really bring in the Glalie features into this guy. I mean, we've got... Best bet's probably to mimic the chest fluff of Articuno as a Glalie whole. So I can do that. I'll mimic this as a whole of Glalie rather than it being the actual Articuno chest fluff. Because obviously Glalie has a lot of holes. Oh, it looks like a heart, but that's fine. I was gonna have it so this is steel or whatever you say Gladie's made out of. Is Glalie made out of ice or I don't know. I don't know what Gladie's made out of. I always thought of it as metal. It might be like stone or ice or something. Icy stone, I don't know. No clue. Yeah, I'm gonna make the wind feathers out of ice, I think. Shards of ice. Yeah, they're both as bad as one another, Dino. Both as bad as one another. Let's get that 3D. The leg is what I'm going to print it so it cuts that off a bit. We can give it one of the holes. The lady has. Kinda, I don't know. It's actually kind of difficult. Just get the leg in there first. Give it a glady hole. And then back in. Chest hole. A hole. It's ridged a little bit. Okay, and then you can obviously bring its neck round normally. I'm gonna get rid of that little dot in there. And round this a bit more, I think. A bit harder because I've changed the size of this. Let's give it normal arty feet. Or normal Articuno feet. Easier said than done. Articuno's feet are weird. Weird feet, Articuno, weird feet. You've got weird feet. Weird feet alert. Articuno has weird feet. And any sort of feathery parts I need to sort of round out because obviously this guy's not feathery. That a little bit, so it's more like that. A bit of a hole there. Yes, Articuno has weird feet. Weird feet alert. That's what I'm calling it. Weird feet alert. Thank you, Articuno, for having weird feet. Except not thank you because they suck to spite. Do that actually. I want to think about that. Let's get the ice shards in there because I was going to do these wings as like shards of ice that are kind of in a slight diamond shape like that. I will clean it up as I go. So yeah, they're shards of ice rather than being feathers, since these are both ice-type Pokemon. So it works in that respect, and that is the prompts we are following. Ice, so you know, including ice is good. I'll figure that out in shading. This is a bit of a harder angle to get the ice to work. Because I need to figure out how it's going to attach. Definitely a harder angle for the ice. And I will clean it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 3. 4, 5, 6. Come on. 4, 6. Let's clean up a bit. This is the last bite we are doing for today, by the way, because spriting's fun, but it can take it out of you a little bit sometimes, because like you're trying to think of how to get everything to work, and it's like, ugh, what am I doing? Okay. As for the tail, I think I'm gonna make it like a like icy effect rather than an actual tail. I'm gonna do that in a different layer, and I'm just gonna make it nice and sort of wavy, icy effect, like icy fog. And we will figure that out once we've coloured in Articuno. My opinion on Uteranus, I like Uteranus. Uteranus is cool. I don't like Uteranus in Arc, however. Uteranus sucks in Arc, because they fucking make your mount go out of control. And so you're trying to kill it, and it's like, oh, now my Argentavis is flying all over the place and I can't control it. So it fucking sucks in that respect. Okay. Let's colour it in. Where is the outline? Darkest outline colour. Darkest outline colour other than the grey is this. Just gonna change this so that's not sticking out like that. Make it more like that, I think. But then that doesn't. Ice crystal needs to be using all of its space. There we go. So that's a look proper. That's what I forgot to complete. I completely forgot to fix up this one. God damn it. That. Fix it up a bit because it's messy in places. Better. Okay, now we wanna color, so use this color for the beak and this bit. Crest, I guess you would call it. They just use black to outline. They just outline with black. Which is fair enough, because what the fuck else are you going to outline it in when you've got such a dark shade? Go, lady eye. Try and mimic the shading on the glalie horn here. Horns, ear thins. I don't know what they are on glalie. Interesting is what they are. And it's one of the few that uses black for extra shading. Okay. All of the holes need to be filled in with that colour. That one. There, there. There. Sort of outline. Oh, come on. Outlined in black. Sort of, kind of. Not an easy thing to figure out. Ow! That just made my wrist click. Thank you, wrist. Just to prop myself up a bit more, my wrist went clunk. That actually really hurt. Oh. Yeah, God, Glalie is a difficult one to figure out most of the time. I remember why I don't do many Glalie fusions now. I remember why I tend to not bother with Glalie. Because it's this much of a pain to figure out. Glalie, I hate Glalie. Why did I choose Glalie? I hate Glalie. Why have I done this? I hate Glalie. Why did I do this? I hate Glalie. I hate Glalie. I hate Glalie. I hate Glalie. What was I thinking? I'm gonna sneeze again. That wasn't even allowed to sneeze in the last time, so be good. You're lucky I keep muting for that, Jesus. Glalie sucks. Glalie sucks. Glalie sucks. Glalie sucks. Thank you for the bless you. Oh. God, that was a really harsh sneeze, that one. That hurt. Glalie sucks, Glalie sucks. Why did I choose Glalie? Glalie sucks. We don't like Glalie. Okay, let's try and get a bit of shading in here. As much as I can, figure it out. To figure out Gladie's shading half the time. Just concentrate. Enjoying trying to do this right now. This is just really difficult. Trying to figure this out. God, Glalie shading makes just no sense. What the fuck? So weird. It's such weird shading. Is the music loud? I can turn it down a tad. There you go. Turned it down. Uh... I'm just gonna do the ice, I think. Just get the ice in. And that'll probably help me out. And I'm going to use this blue of the eye to outline the ice. Because I have to consolidate colours wherever I can. Because you're only allowed so many colours. I'm going to use a lot of the eye blue here to make these. Oh, that's not fully filled in. There we go. It might be too dark. I might change this to a different shade. Change that to be more... Well, what I can do is use this blue at the eyes. Does not look very blue compared to that. This blue of the eyes, which is that blue. What I can actually do a bit of anti-aliasing actually. That might work. Or if I use that as like a bit of an outline colour. Let's change this to this. Let's just use this crystal as a test. Obviously have white. Using that white, we're going to go to this to give it a... maybe not, actually. Oh god, why am I having issues with this? This is not what I expected to have issues. Really not what I was expecting to have issues. I might need to look at... hang on a second. Hang on a second. How does one do pixelize? I think what I need to do is swap it all to be the colour of the eye and use that as my base colours for this. Or rather than that, it could be that this is my base colour. No, hello. Go. The ice, and then we use this colour to shade it. I actually need to do that. There we go. It needs to be like proper shards. So we'll do that. There we go. I think that's probably better. They do that. That's more like the shape I was going for. There we go. As we get further down, they're going to go darker and darker until this one probably very dark because the light's not really hitting it. Maybe a tad bit dark in there. Just bring it like a crystal, like that. There we go. There we go. Like this. And then what I can do is I can take this colour, go very light with it, and use it to make the feeling of a pointy crystal shade in ice thin. It's like that. No, I have not heard of Leo Invincible. I have no idea what that is. Okay. And now I can take this, I can do line shading on it to really make it pop where it's lighter. Yeah, I've not heard of him. I know I've not heard of him. Let's see. There it is. I think I want to make a very dark blue for areas where it needs to overlap a bit. So in these really dark areas. Which means I can then take this outline colour and use that to go even darker in these parts. And here's just nice and dark, completely shaded in there. A little bit of staircase there, you want to get rid of that. Areas where the light isn't hitting much. And then we top it off finally with some black to really distinguish the areas where needed. Parts where lines are overlapping. Mostly there. Okay. Do some line shading on this bit. It doesn't all need to be that colour. Okay. Next up is going to be, I do just want to put a little bit on these. Next up is going to be doing this misty trail. It's going to be the best colour for it. And I'm going to need to do a darker background so I can see. How do I want to do this? I want it to be nice and light. So I'm gonna just take the next lightest tone to do a little bit of shading around here. Be like a plume of misty cold smoke. Misty, smoky coldness. That's what I'm aiming for here. Some white on it will help. In the really dark areas we'll put this shade. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up a little bit. A bit like some flakes of snow and ice. There we go. I think I can call that done. Mostly. It'll probably do for now. Yeah, it'll do for now. Other than the fact that I've got a staircase that I need to fix. I will be called out on that. There we go. Yeah, I think I can probably call that done. Yeah. What I'll probably do actually is put a little bit of this colour. No, not like that. Hello, Moopool. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, you have come at the time that we are just about to end stream. Actually, that would look better just like that. We are just about to end stream, but I appreciate you coming in anyway. That was 4 sprites we've done today. So, yeah, we'll be done for today. Yeah, sorry, Moopool. You came in literally. I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm tired. You come at the wrong time, I'm afraid. So yeah. Favorite cheese? Mozzarella. I don't like cheese actually, so mozzarella is really the only one I like. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming out. We will be streaming same time, same place next week. And of course, I will also be streaming tomorrow on my gaming channel. But anyways, yeah, thank you everyone for coming out, and I will see you all next week or in our next post video. Goodbye everyone, goodbye.